Okay, in today's video, I'm going to show you the 6 key elements that you need to know when building a funnel as a technical virtual assistant. Okay, so this means I want to show you things that to look out for when you're building a funnel for a client, right? Because happy clients mean more money, right? That's what we're looking for. So this video today is more of a focus on the technical aspects. Okay, this is very beginner friendly, and most business owners don't really expect a tech VA to be able to write copy and to design the pages. Now, I'm not saying you can do this, you absolutely can. But when I first started out, I wasn't involved with the copy or the design aspect, right? They gave me the assets for the funnel and I had to make it look good live and make sure that it's functioning properly. So now that I've been in the game for some time, I can handle the copy and the design. That's more of the strategic aspect. And actually in my agency, that's all we focus on is we build high ticket funnels for clients. And then we use paid traffic to fill up their funnels. So if you're new here, I'm Roxanne and I'm the founder of Marketing Tech Mama. It's my mission to help 100 moms work from home as a technical virtual assistant in digital marketing. Okay. So now you can't be involved in digital marketing and not know what a funnel is because it's everywhere, right? And there's few definitions that are out there, but my definition of a funnel is just an automated process that you want people to go through, right? For an example, let's say a challenge funnel, right? Which is going to be more marketing. But when someone opts in to join the challenge, that's the landing page, right? That's the page that they land on. And then once they opt in for that, on the thank you page, they'll get an invitation to join like the community, the private community where the challenge is going to be hosted and all the assets and things are there, right? So that's definitely a funnel. It is more of a marketing funnel, but it is one because it's an automated process for our marketing efforts, right? We want to get more people registered for the challenge and in our Facebook group, and this is the process that we're going to do it. Okay, I'm also going to give you an example of like a sales funnel. So when we're having an automated process like for sales, I think it's good to we just showed an automated process for marketing. So now we're going to show an automated process for sales. So like for instance, when you're browsing TikTok, this is a real thing that happened to me, and I see an ad for some really awesome lip gloss. Right? You then click on the ad and it's going to take you to generally like a sales page, right? That has more information, why you need it. Here's the benefits, pictures, right? Videos. And once you click on the sales page, you're going to go to a checkout page, right? And then when you have the checkout page, it's going to lead you to a purchase confirmation page. It's like, hey, you bought it, check your inbox, we'll send you shipping details. That's a sales funnel because that is the process of actually getting sales, okay? So in online marketing, funnels are everywhere. Funnels are everywhere, and funnels is just really my personal favorite thing to do. I just love it. That's just my thing, right? So now you may be asking yourself, like, how can this help me as a technical virtual assistant? Well, because business owners and entrepreneurs need you to build these funnels for them. Okay. And, I would say as far as tools go, ClickFunnels is probably the most popular funnel building tool out there, but it's easy to use. They give you templates. It's easy to create nice funnel pages and it gives you a lot of flexibility. I mean, I've been in this game for a while. I've used so many tools. There's so many tools out there. Go high level, grow funnels, drop funnels, unbounce, funnel gorgeous, lead pages, etc. Right? But ClickFunnels is still really my favorite. For sure. Definitely one of my favorite ones. All right. So on this channel, I want you to focus on the principles of funnel building. So it doesn't matter what tool you're using, right? And we're not, again, talking about the copy and the design. That's always going to be there. There's going to be plenty of stuff that shows you that. And again, ClickFunnels makes that part very, very easy. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go over and show you the 6 key elements that you really need to know as a technical VA when you're building funnels. Okay, so in the 6 key elements to build a funnel as a technical VA, like I said, I'm coming at you in a different angle. I don't really see this on YouTube. Like people are talking about how to build funnels and stuff like that, but they don't really talk about how, as a technical VA, you need to from a technical VA standpoint, it's a little different. And I've looked at plenty of funnels. And these are things that I definitely make sure that I always look at to this day when I'm making sure a funnel is actually fully working and functional. So the first thing that I'm going to mention that you're going to need is a funnel map. Okay. We actually need to map out the funnel. If we don't have a funnel mapped out, you can definitely be very confused, right? You're like, wait a minute, is this supposed to, especially if you have like upsells and downsells and all of that stuff, that's really important to know how to do, right? Just to map it out. And to be honest, there's tons of tools out there. I still use Google Draw to this day. It's free, right? There's a lots of good ones. Funnelytics, Guru. I actually have a Guru account. Funnelytics, I have that too. Like Lucid Chart. I use Google Draw because it just helps me to, I just need to visually see how it's supposed to be so I can make sure, right, the funnel is functioning as it should. So that's the first thing that I always check for. The second thing is the domain. You need to make sure the domain is connected properly and that you're using the right one, especially if you're running ads to it. With all the changes and stuff that we have going on, right? If you're not making sure you know the right domain that you're using, you're not making sure that it's connected, especially if you're doing Facebook and you have to do some other stuff to the domain, like verify it so you can run ads properly. That's going to be really important. I've definitely seen funnels, everybody's launch, we're fine, and then something happens with the domain and it causes the whole funnel to break down, right? It's a big nightmare. So you want to make sure up front you know that your domain is good, it's connected, everything's working, there's no issues with that. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Okay, so the third one thing that we actually need to always, that I always check on, and I still check on for this day, all of the stuff I check on for today, are the CTAs. And CTAs stand for call to action, right? So we need to make sure whatever the call to action is, that the tech is actually going to support that, right? We need to make sure that if someone submits a page, it's going to send them to where they need to go. If they click on a button, it's going to send them where they need to go. That is very crucial again, because the whole purpose of building a funnel and having these things and these pieces in place is so that people can take action. And if your call to action is screwed up, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. You always want to check for the CTAs every single time, and just to make sure they're good. And I actually recommend, even after it's launched, just to check on it, just to make sure that it's fine, because I've had plenty of instances where I built a funnel, we QA the heck out of it, everything's good. Then we come back 5 days later and the button isn't working anymore, right? Like these are realistic things that happen when it comes to building funnels and tech. Okay, so that's item number 3. The fourth thing, which again, I have to do this even to this day, is I have to make sure that a funnel is mobile optimized, right? Majority of people that are going through your funnels are going to do it from a mobile device. So you need to make sure that when you're also looking at and you're building the funnel pages, that you're looking for mobile as well to see how is that going to look like. Is it still going to look the same? Do we need to change something? Because it looks, a certain design element looks great on desktop, but on mobile, it doesn't really look good, right? So make sure that you're also checking like the CTAs, the domains, and all of this for the mobile phone. Majority of the people are on mobile, and this is very important. Okay. So the fifth thing that we're going to check for are going to be the integrations. This is another huge one. I actually just had to deal with this very recently, where a client needed to switch their payment gateway, and switched it, everything was working and fine, and then out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, it just stopped working. So it was like, oh God, now we have to use another processor in the meantime, and then we have to investigate and see what happened with this other processor, right? So that's part of the integrations over here, right? It's going to tell you got to make sure that's working well. And when it comes to integrations, the top ones that come up are like email. Okay, we want to make sure that whatever your CRM or email funnel is connected to it. right? Because that's critical. If you are getting leads, but they're not going into your CRM database, that's an issue. Okay, so you have to make sure that's working. If they also have, like I mentioned, payment gateways, right? If those payment gateways are not, let me just write this real quick. Okay, so if those payment gateways, it could be integrated properly. Like my example, everything was fine. It just stopped working on their end, right? That's a realistic uh, scenario. But you want to make sure that as far as the setup goes, your setup is fine, right? And you're actually able to see that, hey, the payment gateway is connected. I'm able to process payments. They're going into my email, my CRM database, right? If you have any other integrations like texting, or maybe you're using Zapier or anything like that, any integrations, you definitely want to test it to make sure that everything is working as properly planned and the integrations are set up properly, because that's just a huge headache too. If you're having a funnel go live and then let's say it's not properly connected to the CRM, you're paying for those people, but they're not even going to your database, right? A client would be very, very unhappy with that. And that's where you come in as a tech VA that's able to make sure this is already handled, okay, before you go live for sure. So I would say the sixth thing that's really, really important is testing. I need to make this bold. That's how important this is. Testing, testing, testing. I'm gonna, like, we really need to test. Oops, I didn't even spell this correctly. Okay, so it is testing. You need to go through as a user. So if it's an opt-in funnel, but then there's a payment at the end somewhere, go through the whole thing. Make sure it works, right? Document what you do as a testing. That's something that I've learned as well in my over time, is that way I can say, hey, I have proof that when I tested as a user, everything was working. And my video is my proof of that. Okay, so I always definitely recommend that if you're gonna do some testing, have a way to document your test results. So if anything pops up, hey, on this date and time, everything was working fine. I don't know what happened after that. Okay, but test on a mobile, test on a desktop, right? If they ask you to opt in, check the back end of the CRM to see if you applied the proper tags or the right sequences, right? Also the payment gateway, if you have to process a payment, make sure a payment is actually processing and it's going through wherever it needs to go through. Okay, testing as a user is so important. It's so critical. That helps me and my team spot any issues, right? And also, not even just issues. Sometimes when you're QAing it, right, you need to look at yourself as the user. So if you're looking at this and you're like, this button, like there's no button on the top of the page at all, I have to scroll all the way at the bottom. Letting a client know, like, hey, I just want to check on this. There's a button all the way at the bottom. I didn't even see it. Is that how you want it to be? Right? Like now I'm in a strategic frame of mind. So I would just tell them, listen, we need more buttons ahead. This isn't enough. Right? I would definitely want to talk to them about it. But if you're just starting out as a tech VA and you bring that to their attention, they are going to love you. They're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she brought this to me. I didn't even think about it. Right? Like sometimes we just assume that, business owners, entrepreneurs have all the answers and they know everything and they see everything. A lot of times they're busy and they're looking for a trusted partner, which is you, to come in and say, is this how you want it to be as a user? I just didn't really like this experience. And trust me, that's going to be very valuable to them, because then they know you're not just someone that's just going to do stuff. You're actually like thinking about it. You're trying, right? You're protecting their best interest. I promise you, you will definitely see fruit from that when you bring suggestions and ideas like that to them. And a lot of times we're able to know that when we test, then we can see things and make recommendations and make changes. So what I want to do right now is, I went ahead and was talking about funnel mapping. And earlier in my examples, I gave you an example of a marketing funnel and a sales funnel. So let's kind of draw that out now, because again, I think that's super duper helpful to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do here, let's see. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to learn this real quick. Okay, great. So this is, let me actually, I'm going to change this a little more. Let me change this. Okay, so in my example here, right, where this is, I'm going to just call it like a challenge funnel, and this is definitely more marketing. But again, this is still helpful, and it's still going to show you what you need to know. So this is going to be the landing page, and the landing page is where they're going to opt in, right? We're going to use like name and email, and we're going to put that in there, right? And then that takes them to, let me do this again. Okay, so this takes them to a thank you page, right? And on here, we're just going to have a button that goes to, I'm just going to say group, because Facebook group is the most common one, but there are other ones that we can use, but I'm just going to use that for now, right? So this is going to sit here, and this is like the Facebook group. It's going to invite them here. So I'm just going to put that right. Also, on top of the funnel map, something else that we're going to add that we have not added yet is going to be the emails, right? What happens once someone opts in? What are we going to do here? Right? So this, what I just showed out is just a funnel map. So it's like they're going to go on the landing page. Once they enter their name and email, they're going to get follow-up emails. And these follow-up emails are going to more than likely get them to join the Facebook group as much as possible, right? Making sure that they're there, making sure that they're participating and all of that stuff. Then we're going to have the thank you page that's like, hey, there's a button. Just join the Facebook group. Let's make sure you're in there, right? The emails will send you there. The thank you page will send you to the group. Okay, so this is an example of a challenge funnel, right? And this is marketing. This is what we're going to have with this one. So for the next one, I'm going to do something similar, but this one's going to be the sales funnel based off of my example that, I did earlier. Let me switch that. So this is e-commerce. So it's a little different, not that much, but okay. So this one, I'm just going to call it SP. This is going to be the sales page, right? It's going to have very cool like images and videos, right, about the products. This literally happened to me. I was on TikTok just scrolling, and I saw an ad for this lipstick that was so cool, so different, so awesome. Like I just bought it, and it was definitely more than I could at the drugstore. But again, if they had good quality, they had a lot of things to make it worth my time. Okay, so there's this, and you're on the sales page, and you're looking at the information. You're like, this is great. This is awesome. So now I'm going to go to, this is generally called the checkout page. And it's called a checkout page because this is where you're going to enter like your CC details, right? You're going to enter your credit card, and you're going to say, all right, I want to buy it. I'm ready. Here I am. We're good to go. And then I usually call this like a confirmation, a thank you page. So this is just to let them know, hey, we received your purchase, check your email, we'll give you shipping details, all of that stuff. Probably what will happen here as well is once they opt in, right, then it goes to their database and it goes to emails. So this is why I say funnel mapping is important, because when I'm building this, I need to make sure all roads, like for my example here in the challenge funnel, all roads go to getting people to the Facebook group, right? That's where everything is going, right? I need to make sure the landing page is connected to the CRM. I need to make sure that the thank you page and the landing page are connected to each other, that we have a button on here that's going to send them to the group. It's actually going to the group. And then from there, once it goes to the group, again, the emails do the same thing. It sends them there, right? It's a very easy way to lay this out and for me to be able to reference it as we need to. And trust me, you probably will need to reference a funnel map at some point, always. Okay, so now for the sales funnel, again, in this example, this is just a sales page, has a lot of awesome content for me to be like, you know what, I think I'm ready to buy. I go to the checkout page, I enter my credit card details there. Once I enter my credit card details, it should take me to their database, which will probably send me at least like a confirmation email, tracking email, right? That kind of thing. And this is a confirmation thank you page, which just lets the client, the person know, hey, you successfully purchased, everything looks good. We'll just follow up via email. Or if there's another somewhere else to take them, right? Like if you're an e-commerce store and you have a Facebook group is a great call to action here. Join the Facebook group. Or if you're like, hey, I do stuff on social media, right? Like this thank you page can still be a great piece of like online real estate that you can use to take people to different places. Like if you don't have anything right now, you just want to say, hey, thank you, that's it. That's fine. You can be done. But I just want you to know too, there are other options for here too that you can send people to as well. All right. So we definitely kind of talked a lot today, but I hope this was helpful, especially from the technical aspect. Because like I said, I just like using ClickFunnels. It's just easy to use. It's easy to use. It's not hard to build one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my affiliate link on the bottom in the descriptions in here. So you can get a 14-day free trial. And anyone who purchases from me will be able to have a free 30-minute strategy call so we can work together on how you can start getting clients to hire you to build funnels for them. So that's it for today's video. If you like this video and you want to see more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe this channel. I also write about being a technical virtual assistant on my blog, marketingtechmama.com/blog. Until next time.